Apologies for that. We had some noise outside that was getting too loud. I'm going to read that last question again. Do you still need to disclose any important communications to investors or exchanges that you have missed? If so, what are they? So the answer is no. We remain compliant with our disclosures. So from my perspective, we are up to date. Why do you not actively purchase shares of Empower? Why do you now demand from investors to bail out debts? Why do you not completely or largely waive your salary and goodwill to show investors that you are convinced of the new project and give investors a good feeling? So this is kind of a good follow-up again. I have purchased EPW shares over the years. I've also provided all of my EPW shares as collateral for prior financings. I've deferred salaries so many times over the years. I've personally paid expenses, including salaries of employees, many times. As I said earlier, my 2023 T4 is only $11,981 and 1 cent. So yes, I feel like we've completely waived salary and cash flow during these tough times in order to focus on the preservation of EPW as a public company. Next question, why don't you officially list Sanofi as a partner? Why do you only mention Sanofi in emails and otherwise only speak of a global company? Why do you present it this way or create the impression that Empower is a partner for conducting the study? Why do you not mention the competition? After all, the list of participants conducting the Sanofi studies is long. Why is Empower or EP Cure Search not officially advertised on their website? So we have very tight confidentiality agreements with the pharma companies. It's not just Sanofi, it's the other ones that we're working with also. I'm aware of the other sites that get listed on the study pages, but I don't control how that gets updated. We sign CDAs, so confidentiality disclosure agreements with the pharma companies, and they are strict, and without prior consent, I'm not permitted to send press releases with their names or information. I can talk at a high level of a working relationship, but I certainly cannot get into details, and we're not going to get into details on site locations and our doctors at this stage. I think more of that will start to play out as we get the new EPW Cure Search website updated, and we have a more structured way to communicate the growing scale of that new work or division. Next question, I kind of answered it there. Why don't you announce the exact new partners or the exact locations? Give us information that we can research to get a clear picture of your words. We want names and locations. Succinctly, this is about confidentiality and, frankly, competition. But again, I think that as we evolve our website, we'll have a better method of demonstrating how our footprint is growing and what markets we're most interested in. Why were annual general meetings not announced? Why did investors not receive invitations? How could things be decided as part of an AGM when no one could vote? So our next AGM is still pending. We are overdue in completing the AGM. So the next AGM will go forward in the same method or manner as we've done them in the past. Are you active in other companies or involved in any way? So I think the question is, where's my focus? So my focus is EPW and Empower Clinics and its success. So my involvement in other entities is really all about the future of EPW, but I'm also an investor in other companies, but those are more passive investments. My day-to-day, around-the-clock work focus is EPW. This is a question about other entities. I guess that there are some searches done. Are the following companies related to you or just a namesake? If you are involved, what is your role? First one, CBD Investments LLC. Well, that's actually part of EPW. Activate Media Group LLC. That's from 1,000 years ago. Was an investment that we were working on that did not go through. This one's called FFRTB Ltd. I don't know this entity. It's not related to me at all. McAuley Healthcare Services LLC. That is an entity of mine. Roddy Quayle's Environmental Drilling. I don't know that entity. You are said to have written in an email back then that Empower was actively being shorted and needed to be dealt with. Did this email really come from you? This was at a time when AMC and GME were heavily benefiting from so-called meme hype, at a time when Empower was also actively hyped. So I'm not sure what email is being referred to, but we know that short positions are taken against all issuers. The volume and severity of naked shorting is typically unknown with Canadian issuers, and it's a problem. When we were heavily shorted back when the stock was running very high, I got on the phone to IROC many times to talk to them about, the severity and the sheer volume or increases in the short position against EPW. And it's a problem that, I think needs to be really focused on and addressed. Next question, as early as 2021, you wanted to focus heavily on the US market with Medisure being strongly represented in the US. None of this has materialized. We wanted to see Medisure make an entrance to the US markets. We were disappointed with the outcome. We were disappointed with what took place with Medisure leadership. I'm still a very strong believer on US markets. Again, it's why we're focusing so hard with our research work on the US markets. I think that's where our best potential comes from. Next question. Did you know about Mario's activities on Discord? Why did Mario's mood change? Why did Medisure end up where it is now? It was brought to my attention at some point after it started. I confronted him about the activity and indicated that he should not continue with that activity. I was told that it stopped, but I believe it subsequently started again. I don't know the current status of that at all. This one is a bit longer. It says, I have questions about Alexis Wukich. Why do you refer to companies whose websites don't exist? What is going on with SpecNet Health? I'm having to paraphrase this one. It's quite long. What happened to the cardiology services with SpecNet was supposed to provide? So about the various websites that are being referred to, I don't know what they are. SpecNet Health was being driven with the support of Anthony Tomasello, who passed away. So after he passed away, that momentum came to a standstill. It stopped. We continue to work with Alexis on potential research opportunities in the Pittsburgh market and her contacts related to SpecNet Health. Hopefully we'll see more good work materialize there. Why did you change your and Empower Clinic's address to a P.O. Box address? This does not convince of credibility in any case. So the prior physical address, we could no longer use that address. We did take on a WeWork location before COVID, but once things got worse, we exited the WeWork location to save money and put everybody on work from home. We required an address in Vancouver, and the current listed address was an inexpensive way to do this, and that's why the current corporate address is such. Okay, I'm going to conclude right there for this session and look for the third session to come up in the near future.